Guys, welcome back to another live podcast. I say live, I know I say this every single time. You're not watching this live, guys. You're watching a pre-recorded version of a live conversation, which means all the bloopers and all the stuff is as it happens. So, guys, I'm excited today. I'm inviting a guest on here, another author, an Aspie, if you will, another autistic female. So this is my guest, Christine. And yeah, I'm excited to get this conversation started. So, Christine, do you want to just explain who you are and what you do and that kind of stuff?
Sure. So I am an author. I used to be in technology, high-tech startups, and work for Microsoft and stuff like that. And then I decided, what the heck, I'll just build worlds for a while. So I write five books a year. Each one has a different world. So if you think about I'm a Tolkien girl. So each world has its own history and language, each book,
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
How many a year do you do?
I do 5 a year, and I do about 1 to 2 audiobooks. I narrate the audiobooks a year. So I'm at 45 so far.
Oh my God. Dude, that's an incredible number. I wrote my book in 2 weeks, right? My second book that's coming out in
Good
August.
for you.
It's not a thanks, Steve, but it's not like it's more like how can I say, it's like a life story slash kind of guidebook slash kind of like what to do if so it's kind of really easy for me to just smash that out in 2 weeks, and I could do one a week. But the difference is if you're creating worlds, I mean, how do you even come up with all these concepts? How do you do that?
I love history. So I'm actually studying to get my master's in history at Harvard right now. So
No way.
I just load my head up with a lot of stuff. It's like picture it like a kaleidoscope. And then when I start mapping things out, it just all kind of comes out. And I cut like a lot of stuff if it doesn't fit. So,
I get it. So do you have like a collection of offcut stories that you could like release as like extra content for your fans?
Yeah. I had I do. I have them, and maybe one day I'll bring them out. I have this one that I love where like my character she's turned into a demigoddess, and she has people like hanging out on her lawn eating gummies, and
That's cool. What kind of gummies?
And I can't get it to work.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I mean, yeah, maybe you should take some gummies. Maybe it'll help the process a lot. So here's the question. And so is writing and story expansion your hyper focus and obsessive interest, or was it tech?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You like a D&D girl as well? Like,
yeah, I used to be a dungeon master when I was a kid. So
dude,
I actually have my own shirt that I made called Plus. Oh, nice.
I know. I play a lot of D&D. Like I actually have, dude, like seriously, my girlfriend got me this for Christmas. These are D&D dice, right? That light up.
Ooh. Oh my God, that's so cool.
Dude, how cool
That's
is
a
that?
good girlfriend.
I know, there's a charging case as well. So yeah,
Ooh.
everyone in the campaign's like, whoa, here come the dice.
I was like the most obsessive dungeon master because we'd get through a room and I'm like, stop. I don't know what kind of runes we should be putting on the walls here. I haven't developed out this world enough. And everyone's like, come on, we're
Oh my
here.
God.
So yeah, that and Tolkien got me started on this whole thing. I think
Dude.
all of life is Dungeons and Dragons. Honestly.
Yeah, I always see life as a campaign, right? It's like, how can I play the best hand at this game? I need to re-equip myself, getting the PC hand guide on, like, like the whole time. Yeah, it's good to know, because like I love that. A lot of my friends who are on the spectrum, we all play D&D together, and it's kind of like it's something about that, like I wouldn't call it abstract or imagination. It's more like intuitive exploration, I guess, that kind of D&D gives you. And it gives you a kind of excitement where you can really, because what I think of, like with autism, you can forget everything else and just focus on the thing you're doing, right? So with D&D, you get super submerged in it, right?
Right.
And that's why I kind of like I lose track of time playing Minecraft and Dungeons and Dragons, because like it just you get so sucked into it. So how long ago did you start writing these books then? You said you're on like 45, right?
Yeah. I started telling stories as soon as I was a late talker. My sisters talked for me until I started talking, and then I just wouldn't shut up. And all I did was tell stories all the time.
Okay.
And in first grade, I would just stand up every so often, and Sister Virginia didn't like that, and I just tell my stories. So she sent me off to see side stories. She sent me off to see this priest who back in the whatever that was 70s was doing IQ testing because she thought I needed to be institutionalized. And the priest, like I can so clearly remember, like some not so great things about a Roman Catholic education. This priest was like the best thing, because I sat in, I started telling my stories. He listened for like 45 minutes. He's like my first fan.
Wow.
And he went back and told Sister Virginia, you got to let her have 5 minutes at the end of every day to tell the class her stories. So it would just been, and every time when I got into technology, I didn't really expect to stay in it. They kept, it was world building back then, and and they kept paying me a lot of money. And then all of a sudden it stopped being that. It started being like working for a bank. And so I went back to my first love. So that was about 10 years ago that I really decided I'm gonna do this.
Dude, that's cool as hell. So just for anyone listening, how do you even get into like knowing about your books? What's your website and stuff? How do people find you just whilst they're listening?
So Christina Bauer author.com.
Okay.
Or if you look up my kind of like my flagship series is called Angelbound.
Okay.
It's about a part demon girl who fights evil souls in purgatory's arena. So,
dude, that honestly sounds fire. I'm a huge graphic novel guy, right? Like I love graphic novels because I'm dyslexic, right? I can't read for buggery, and so I have graphic novels because there's small, tiny bits of text, but lots of imagery to give you like a real visual representation. So I'm really taken by that, and that really sounds like graphic novel stuff, right? You know what I mean? Like that's to me like, oh yeah. So here's a question I have for you: How does a Catholic schoolgirl get away with playing D&D and writing about demons? Like, how does this? How are you able to do this?
I had an ongoing discussion about it with my priest. Oh, okay. That was part of my confession. Like, I kind of think a lot about demons and like fighting them and dragons.
Yeah, like death and stuff. It's all good, just.
And there was another one where I got lucky. He's like, I'm not gonna tell your parents. Just say a Hail Mary and you can keep fighting.
No way, dude, that's crazy. So do you still practice that religious faith, or you moved on from that from school?
Well, no, I don't. I'm not active. No. I mean, it's still, I lean on the teachings all the time,
Yeah.
I knew a Christian brother when I was in high school who said, Jesus's teachings are a great religion. It would be great if someone tried it sometime. I mean, it's really hard, right?
It's super true. Yeah,
tough.
It's super true. Yeah.
So,
he's like the ultimate badass dude, isn't he? He's like gets it done, and like nobody can be as pure. And it's like it's hard, it's hard, dude.
Right.
Do you feel like your faith upbringing and kind of like religious background give you a lot of like inspirational ideas for fantasy?
Yes, absolutely. That's another place where I kind of clicked with both Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. Okay. I don't write anti-heroes. I can't. I feel like storytelling and myth is like almost a sacred obligation to tell things that inspire the best in people.
Dude, I feel like that's what Jesus was doing, right? Like,
yeah.
That's what he's doing. It's teaching in parables, right? By saying like, and it's a story, right? And I think like, that's what it was so like when I was in school. I remember going to school. I went to a Christian school, and it wasn't taught by like the clergy, but it was Christian, and so we pray every like morning, lunchtime, and in afternoon. But one of the cool things is every afternoon we do like a Bible story, right? We did read Bible stories, and all the cool ones, like Moses kind of like getting everyone, the Israelites, across the desert and all this stuff. And I was always like, wow, these are like crazy stories. Like these make such cool movies and stuff. You know what I mean? Like they were so cool.
Yeah.
So I can see how that would really like inspire and like ignite a bit more of a flame to go, whoa, yeah, we could really like use some of that stuff because they're cool stories, right? They're cool stories.
Absolutely. And the other thing that was great about growing up Roman Catholic is that the stories are real. I didn't have this like, I could really feed it in my imagination. You were so,
Here's a question: Have you ever had a real life experience that you then put into a story?
Oh yeah.
Oh really? Yeah. With demons?
Pardon?
With real demons? Like this is a question. Like
demons.
I'm like, all evil spirits. Like, dude, like I swear down, like I've met a demon. Like a demon like passed me and then entered my dream, and like it's all crazy stuff. It's like a whole story. I'd love to tell you a story. It's not hugely long, but I'll say it another day.
Let's hear it.
Oh, you want to hear? Okay. So I was in college, which is technical college, which is between high school and university in the UK, right? Which is a little bit different to your college. And me and my girlfriend, we were getting the bus back to my house because she was staying with me because we both had our classes in the same building, right? So she was staying with me because we lived quite far apart. So she got the bus home to my house, my parents, and and so did a friend of ours, Patrick, who lived just around the corner from me. So we're walking home, and it's like dusky time. It's October. It's getting close to Halloween, and it's kind of getting dark. It's a bit kind of cool. And we go up this like lane. We're walking towards this old chapel behind my house where I live now, actually, where there was a convent there, right? And they used to make, there was loads of nuns, and they used to make apples and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're walking down, and this really like rough looking, I thought he was like homeless dude, kind of like walks past us, and he was like, look, honestly looked like he was gonna like kill us or something. I thought, oh my god. So I'm like talking to the guy, he's like, yeah, and this guy like, walks past us, and I'm like keeping an eye on him, and I'm like walking, I'm like looking, and anyway, so I start talking to the guy, it's like, dude, did you see that guy? And they go, what guy? It's like, that guy there. And I turn around, he's gone. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, what guy? I was like, he just walked straight past those guys. I thought he was gonna attack us. They're like, there's no guy here. I was like, oh man, I need to lay down. Like, this is too much. Like, anyway.
Wow. I
So,
haven't had sighting like that,
dude,
but I've had there
it
are
gets
two things.
worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh.
It gets worse. We get
Okay.
home. This is the thing, and I want to hear about your things. We go home, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep because like, so my girlfriend and I are both on my bed. She's reading, and I kind of lay down. I'm gonna go to sleep because like I just can't deal with it. You know, I'm super stressed. So we had like stew or something, and then we went to bed. And then so she's sitting up reading some book, and I'm like passed out. And then in my dream, a friend of mine like walked to the edge of my bed, which is kind of like the scenario I was in at that moment in time, right?
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this like a savage human head in his hand, and he just looked at me, and then like I heard a knock at my front door. So then I woke up in real life, like, geez, who's knocking the door? My girlfriend's like, nobody's knocking the door. What are you talking about? And at the moment, the door knocks in real life. I'm like, oh my God. So I go to and I open the window of the hallway because like I'm not going downstairs and open the door. So I open the door, and there's like a really drunk guy out of his mind at the door saying, hey, does Mary live here? And I'm like, no, try the house down the street, buddy. And he just stumbles off. Dude, like, and that was it. That was like the scariest thing I've ever happened in my life. Like, swear down.
Wow, that is big. Mine might not be as good, but I definitely, the two things. First, I feel like I mean, there's like the more we learn about like quantum physics and stuff, the more that like there's shit going on.
Yeah, there's stuff everywhere, dude.
And then second, my husband and I used to live in Charlestown, Massachusetts, which is right by where the Battle of Bunker Hill, which is actually Breeds Hill, blah, blah. And we lived in this old house, and in the basement there was one of those old fashioned black rotary phones on the wall.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
for a horror movie, dude. Like I'm
yeah, like it was like the phone that they made a movie later, and I'm like, oh my God, maybe this guy visited somebody else.
Yeah.
And you go down the basement, and like, I would just run down there, like shove my laundry in and skittle on back. And then the phone would start ringing, and it was, and it's like, dude. So I'm the kind of person where after it's happening, I start to get pissed. I'm like, you're fucking with me. And I'm sorry.
I've got to answer the phone. No, you can swear. You're so good.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm this is not real. Right. So I go, and there's like a cord in the bottom of the phone, and I yank it out, and it goes silent. And then like 1 second, 2 seconds, ring, ring.
Oh, fucking hell.
Power source. I freaking ran.
Dude. And I'd have to move. That would be it. Like I'm out. I mean, like the house would be for sale. I swear down. Like I could not stay there. I'm such a shitbag with stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Dude. Do you know what's really funny though? I think mine was a catalyst from something else. A friend of mine, super religious, she was like, hey, you got to read the Bible. We read the Bible. I was like, hey, I did in high school and all this stuff. I was like, I don't read the Bible anymore. So she's like, oh, God will reach out to you when he needs to. I was like, yeah, okay. She goes, here's a Bible. I was like, oh, God. So I got a Bible from her. I was like, hey, thanks. I'm not going to read it because I was like, teenager in college. Like, I just want to play music and just like hang out. And so like, took this Bible home with me and started reading it. And then after that was the day after the demon thing happened. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, seriously, dude, like crazy. But anyway, enough crazy stories. I'm really excited. I would love to see your books in graphic novel format. Just the ideas alone.
I would too, man. Yeah.
Freak me out. Like I'm like, dude, this is fucking sick. But I know like not everybody's a graphic novel person. People want to read stories because like reading expands the mind, yada yada. Oh, excuse me. And I get it. I really do. And I think like people who are on the spectrum really love those types of things because you can just dive into those and just forget about everything. Like the Dungeons and Dragons, right? And
yeah, absolutely. I do get put art in my books because I feel like it's grim fairy tales. I can put that in there. Yeah. I love if I had that like serious rocking drawing talent that I get, but it's all very visual.
I swear, maybe hey, like anybody watching or listening, if you know anybody who's a visual artist who want to collaborate, let's do it. We'll hook it up.
Yeah, totally.
Justin's details are going to be in this video. You can hit it off on the website and stuff and find out books. So are your books on Amazon, or are they all kind of like just through your website?
Oh, it's all through retailers.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Kobo.
Nice.
I'm self-published, so I'm a control freak, so I do
Dude.
it all myself.
Badass, man. That's a lot
Yeah.
of work, dude. Like I swear down. Like I've got two publishing deals with two different. I've never released self-released a book. Like I've always been on publishers, but like the amount of work that they have to do is ridiculous. I'm
Oh
so
yeah.
glad I don't self-publish because I'm just like I would never get anything
Yeah.
else done ever because I should be like constantly working on the book. But look, dude, this has been like redonkulously interesting. Like I think we could do it. Do you have like Instagram and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I
So
think we
it's
should? Yeah.
at Christina _ CB _ Bauer Bauer.
Okay, I'm gonna link that in the when we finish this. Email me with all of your links and details and stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that in the footnotes of all these emails and all these videos. Sorry. What I think we should do, we should totally do an Instagram live, and
Ooh,
talk about
yeah.
like some of the like cool like ghost stories that you've made, or some of the weird demon stories. I mean, kind of cool, right? Like something that
Yeah.
nobody's ever done before. Like, why don't we do it? I think we'd totally dope. I think my audience would love it. Something a bit different.
Can we do also once Dungeons and Dragons the movie comes out? Can we talk about it?
Dude, like swear down, like I honestly almost crapped my pants when they said they were going to release this film. I was like, holy shit, like I'm waiting so bad for it, like because there is one like years and years ago and it's really shit. So like
Oh
this one
yeah,
should
that was crap.
hopefully should be good. I think they may milk it with like the toys and t-shirts and stuff, and people will be like, oh, I'm a Dungeons and Dragons person now. I was like, okay, yeah, D20, haha. But like the true nerds and PCs and DMs, they're all going to be all over it, and I think we're going to really love it. So yes, let's do an episode, an Instagram live episode just about that. We should totally do that. Or
Yeah.
go live on my YouTube channel. Maybe we could like do like a, you know, like that kind of thing. Anyway, sorry guys, we're boring the hell out of you, like getting excited for D&D. It's been an
Unless you
absolute pleasure.
skim on Dungeons and Dragons, in which case you're in
Yes.
heaven.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be here like yeah, honestly, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. My parents were always like freaked out, and my brother would like candles and like dress up and stuff, you know, just to kind of play D&D in the kitchen. It was really good. Like we're super nerds. My brother was a DM, you see, so yeah, really cool. Anyway, enough about this. Really happy to have you on today. It's been really interesting. I think my viewers are going to hopefully find some interest in this, but definitely check out your books if anyone's interested. I'm really interested in them, and I'm not a book person. I'm like a graphic novel person. I'm super interested. So I'll leave all the links for you down below. And yeah, let's get an Instagram set up. Christine, thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.